Oh no, I didn't check this morning. I got up a little late. Yep, teeth are fun. Teeth are hard. Let's see. Oh no, I did see this one. I was up late. Yeah. Shoot, send another one then. it. Well, I mean that's good practice. I think it does look good. I think you did good with all the little details and stuff. That's where all the pain in the butt stuff. Cool. It looks more like a dog now a little bit because the ears are down. If you want wolf, I think it's more up and pointy. It's just the ears. I think the mouth looks better, but I think the ears somehow wound up on the side. Or okay, yeah, yeah. Um, those are sculptures files. I'll download them. Let's see. Okay, I got a bunch of stuff to run through today, so well, whatever. Well, you can jump in the meeting and you can chat and type. A lot of people do watch this later, so if you're watching this later, good. Hello. Because I can see with YouTube at least, I can see how many views I got, and I can track, when you guys came in. It doesn't say who watched it, but the only people watching this is this class, and it looks like 20 to 30 views. So it seems like everybody's watching it. Oh, perfect. Yeah, see, that's yeah. Yeah, understood. Okay, I'll take a look at who didn't respond. Maybe it's the wrong email, or maybe they dropped, or maybe you know, yeah, exactly. So if you guys aren't answering, Hunter's the producer. You guys need to answer his emails and basically stay on point with him because that's part of the project. No, I know we're on a 15 or like a 20-second delay, but um, uh, do you want an echo? Because that would drive me crazy. I can hear all you guys. Well, unmute YouTube. That's where you're gonna have to hear me from because that's what I have to record, and I'm gonna have to listen to you guys through Discord, and it's gonna just have to be a delay. Exactly. I can do both here. You want an echo? Let's see. Maybe I can't. I guess I can't do both. So it's YouTube chat. Um, you guys can't. You can't do microphones. That'd be nice, right? Well, it looks like I can't. So Hey. Just turn them all on because exactly, you can only hear me on YouTube. So crank up the volume and leave your Discord on so you guys can talk. Yeah. So we're going to try basic organic modeling. There's 100 ways to do this. And here's Hunter's awesome wolf dog bear. No, it's a wolf, but he did it in Sculptris. If you guys haven't, yes, we're learning this in Blender. If you haven't tried Sculptris, it's cool. It's pretty cool. Sculptris lets you do like fine details and it lets you sculpt basically. It's a lot easier. It took 6 hours for Hunter to do this. It's a really good learning process. Yeah, when you model in Sculptris, it does symmetry. So you model on one side, it does the details on the other side. You can do that in Blender too. But for our purposes today, we're going to just do this in Blender. Let me open Blender up. Um, 2 seconds. So I originally was going to do a wiener dog, but I think that's kind of was going to take too long. So I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to do one version for you guys that aren't really good at modeling yet, and then one more complicated for those of you that are good at modeling. So let's take a look at what's due this week first. Actually, let me change this date. This is your last model unless you're on the 3D modeling team. So if you're on the 3D art team, you're going to probably benefit from this the most. If you're not, you can keep it simple. Yes, Hunter, I will count that as this project. So you guys have been working on this individual project. You have 1 more week to complete it, and then we're all. Parker, that's going to be your individual project, so we'll count that all as that. If you let me get to this. So this was your individual projects you guys should be doing. You either got your 3D art, your concept art, your design. You've been working on this for weeks, so this will be done next week. And then, oh, welcome, Mackenzie, and sorry for the 20-second delay. Okay, so yeah, we're on a weird delay, so it's kind of back and forth weird here. We got a discussion this week, which is basically. We're not going to use Sculptris today. I'll show you how to do it without it. So for your discussion this week, you're going to ask another team for anything you need. If you need a drawing, ask for it. If you need programming, ask for it. If you need design, ask for it. Pretty simple. But act like this is a company. Don't be a jerk about it. Formally request something. And if you can provide it, respond with that. Say, I'm going to provide this to you at a certain date. Otherwise, just kind of give some positive feedback and constructive criticism. One more thing about this week. We're voting again for or actually this is the first vote. So we're going to vote for a team name. It's right here. It's part of the week's assignment. So do it. Just pick one or write your own right here. And you have to input your email address so you don't cheat. You can only vote once. This is round one. We're going to do it again once I'll probably pick the top 3 or so from this and then make you guys vote one more time. But today I'm going to demo the assignment that's basically this assignment. 3D model number 2. So organic modeling is, I say organic, it doesn't have to be like a living creature when you think of organic or whatever. It just means the opposite of hard surface modeling. So hard surface modeling is like usually stuff, man-made stuff like this keyboard in front of me, or a crate, or your refrigerator, anything hard. Organic's different. It could be a rock. It could be a beanbag chair. Generally, anything in nature is not hard surface. There's no straight lines in nature, so we got to do kind of unique curvy shapes. It makes it a little more difficult. But I'll show you one way of doing it, and then I'll talk about other ways of doing it too. A lot of people go overboard sometimes. We saw Hunter doing this, which is great and all, but it's a lot of polys. It's way too many polys to bring into a game engine. So what you would have to do is you have to go in there and redo the entire geometry to make it something more manageable, like this. So one way of doing it is, he said 274,000 polys. That's too much for a game engine. We needed around, like for a character, maybe 10,000 at the max. Depending, we can, we'd have to talk to the programmers and see what our limit is and test some things out. So I'll show you one quick way of doing it. So I'm just going to do it like the old school box modeling way, but add some more cool stuff to it. If you're really, really lost with modeling and you just want to do the basics for this assignment, you can do something simple like a bow and arrow, or something really simple. Those of you guys that are better at it, I want you to do something more advanced. So if you were to do like a bow and arrow, you could do, stretch this thing out. You guys should know already, you can press S for scale and then Z for scale on the Z axis. If we want to add a bunch of geometry, we can do things like you press tab, go to the edit mode, and go over here to loop, cut, and slide. You can, oops, yeah. This is the beginner one. We'll do a better, harder one in a second. So you can add as much as you want here, whatever you think is reasonable. Let me press 5 to get orthographic view, if you guys don't already know that much. And then I'm going to use proportional editing. That's probably one of the easiest organic tools. So I can grab, if you didn't already know, if you want to grab an edge loop, you hold Alt and click an edge, and it'll grab that loop. If you want to grow your selection, you can press plus and minus, but I'm going to do proportional editing. So I click this little circle, go to enable. And now when I move this thing, you can scroll your mouse wheel to change the circle size, and that'll determine how much it affects. So if you just do none, remember, it just does this, right? That's not going to help us. If we grow our proportional editing a bit, sorry, my mouse wheel, I need a new mouse. You can bend it. And then you can do the same kind of up here if you want. Yeah, I'm using an old mouse. I didn't get it. That's the one thing I didn't buy a new. Didn't buy a new mouse. So you can see you can kind of get some interesting shapes there. That would be a lot harder to do if you were to do it, individually. So that's the bare bones of. Oh, yeah. If you want to grow your selection, it's Control plus. So if I press Control plus, I can grow it. Control minus is shrink it. And then say I wanted to just like add a. If you wanted to add a grip there, you could, but you have to mess around with it a little bit. Make sure to turn that off when you don't need it. That's the minimum. I want some. Yeah, once you guys get in the flow of it, this should get a lot easier for you, and you should be fast. But I want you, regardless, I want you to spend. Let's see. This project is. Oops. If you look at the projects, they're supposed to be 10 minutes or 10 minutes per point. So this one is going to be 24 points. That means I need 240 minutes, which is 4 hours. So spend 4 hours. 2 hours a week, says right here. And if this is what takes you 4 hours, fine, I totally understand. I'll show you what else you could do with your 4 hours if you're becoming more comfortable. I don't expect everybody to be a pro modeler. Just I want you to kind of get the basics of it. So, well, there you go. Yeah. I mean, you can spend a little bit more time. You probably honestly will if you're really into it. But I need at least 4 hours worth of time. So there's your bow. Basic. Whatever. I'll move it out of the way. I usually delete. Whoops. The lamp. You missed just me making a bow and arrow, or a bow, no arrow. Make an arrow too, might as well while you're at it if you're gonna keep it simple. Just add a. Whatever. I'm not gonna do an arrow for you. I'm gonna try to do. Is there any objects you guys can think of you want me to do that is like kind of organic? Otherwise, I was just gonna probably do this thing, or try at least. I can do something simpler too, like I don't know, a rock or a tree. A tree is kind of different though. Do that one. Okay, I can show you a rock and a character. So a rock, look, generally, like anything you do, you think, oh, a rock, that's dumb. I can just like come up with it. I use some like create a character generator garbage because I don't have time to make a character like that. Oh, not the rock, like rock. So look at reference, even if you're doing something simple. So if we're doing a rock or something simple, we can just do, at least to get what I'm talking about here. So you can start with a cube, center it. You pull this little tab out, you press all zeros. And then you can scale it up to whatever size you think is good. And basically we can just press, go into edit mode. To get to this special menu, it's the W key while you're in edit mode. You can press W, go to subdivide. You can try subdivide smooth too. It'll give you a smoother shape. And so this is like a basic shape we could start with. You can, grab some edges, use that proportional editing still, and pull it apart. Well, this is we have to have an ultimate low poly one to start with. What we're gonna do after that is go into edit mode or object mode again. Go over here to this little wrench and go to modifiers and go to multi-res. I just found this out last night when I was playing around. Again, I'm not a So I just found this tool. I didn't know about it, but it's cool. It's called multi-res. So go to add modifier, multi-resolution. It allows you to have a low poly model and a high poly model, and you can go back and forth between the two. So I can press subdivide here, and it'll, you can see it's subdivided. I can keep clicking subdivide as much as I want to get a smooth, we can start with a circle. You can start with a square if you want, I don't care, or cube. But the cool thing is, so we can sculpt, well, we're not there yet, Parker. So you can sculpt at this res, but you can also go back to this res. So I'll show you here. So we can start doing just general deformations. Oops. You want to go to object mode, sculpt mode. You can, if you're doing characters, you can use symmetry here. If you're not doing characters, you can turn it off. Sculpt mode gives you, you can click up here and do some brushes. It's kind of like Sculptress if you guys already been playing with that. Play with the different tools. I think this one, no, that's not what I want. This one allows you to kind of just move things. So if there's a shape you want to get at, oops. I know there's a short key. Let me find the short keys here. The short keys are in this assignment, right here, sculpt mode short keys. Interactive, let's see. Toggle boost. Okay, interactively set brush size is F. So if you want to, if you guys want to change your brush size, press F and move your mouse, and you can quickly set your brush size. So if you want to pull, we can go like this, yeah. You can see it. I'm getting like a weird shape here. Okay, so whatever. Say that's the kind of general shape I want to start with. Okay, so whatever. Go back to your sculpt. If you want to smooth things, you can press S for the smooth brush. Yeah, I just use grab to move things around. But what I'm really going to start with is I kind of like clay. It's a good one. The normal tool is just sculpt. But I kind of like clay because I can start adding details. Like you can even make this higher res if you want. And now you can just go in here. This is the radius, which is the size, which you can control by pressing F. And this is the strength, which is modifiers. Make sure they're in. Make sure you're in object mode. So I can make this like as high as I want. Right now I'm at 24,000 and go up to 100. And now I got like a lump of clay that I can really start messing with. Oh, okay. So take all the time you want to make this thing look like, you know, a rock. There's better ways to do this. For a rock, I generally would go into ZBrush or something. But just to show you what I'm getting at here, now that we have, say this is done. This is, you know, this is garbage, but whatever. You get the gist of this is how you can sculpt. If you hold Control, you can go. You can do the. Oh please! You want me to finish it? I'll spend an hour on this rock if you want, but I'm not going to. But whatever. Spend as much time as you want on this rock. Okay. Well, yeah. I'm not gonna do that. I was. Yeah, exactly. This might be a pebble. So here's a couple quick tips. Control goes in. Regular click will just go out. And if you hold Shift, it'll smooth. Okay, so whatever. So that's what you like. The whole point of this thing is, though, we can dump. There's the magic. Here's the magic. We can go change it back and forth. Careful if you do too much. Sometimes you'll mess up your geometry. Like there, it looks a little messed up. You can smooth it if you just hold Shift. Well, now you get to choose however much detail you want. So maybe we want one that's this resolution. It doesn't have textures yet, obviously. You slap some textures and a normal map on here, and it'll look like a rock, I'm telling you. Okay, so that's the basics of sculpting. The coolness is you can go up and down resolution. Maybe that doesn't seem cool to you, but it's really cool. So choose what resolution you want. Say you want it at 2 or whatever. We can render it at 2. You just press apply. And oh, I need to go to object mode and press apply. So now this rock is, let's see. This is 384 faces, which is low. So like if you guys try to make this shape by hand, it's kind of going to be a pain in the butt, but that's the gist of it. Now we can try something a little harder. But anyways, if you wanted to actually do this all the way, you'd go to so I'm not going to really show you ZBrush now, but I would use ZBrush for like a rock or something. Oh, whoops! I left the bow and arrow in there. But once you add, yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm not gonna show you ZBrush right now. I'm gonna show you this one more time. With let's. Yeah, you don't know what a dope sheet is? Look it up. What a dope sheet is. Okay, well, you saw how I could take a 100,000 poly rock down to a 1 poly thing. What's up, Parker? Okay, 20 seconds ish. That's not, you have to have. I know. If you want a quick response, type it. To lower the polys, you go to. You have to add your multi-resolution. This multi-resolution. This, and then yeah, Parker, you were asking about resolution stuff. You go multi-res, and then you subdivide it, and then you can go back. You know, that's for you, Parker. And then once you're done, you can click delete higher if you want, or just make sure you're in object mode. Press apply and make sure your render is set to the one you want it to be. Let me know if you got that, Hunter. I mean, Parker, sorry. So for something weird like this, we would just, kind of stretch it out, and we could. If you're using, are you using the sculpt or the proportional editing grab? It's under sculpt, so. Exactly. It's at the top. Tries are double your polygons. Okay, guys, so I'm going to start with a cylinder and basically just cut off the edges of it. And I'm kind of just going to make sure proportional editing's off, and then I'm just going to kind of sculpt this to the best of my abilities. Okay, so the way that you can model, a quick way to model is you go into edit mode. Yeah, if you guys go too high, it'll crash Blender. But a quick way to do something like this, so you have a side view of a creature or whatever it might be, a side view. Select, so basically get your edge loop, hold Alt, select, and then it'll do an edge loop. Press E for extrude, and then you'll extrude out. So basically kind of go like this and follow the curves. You press E and then press S to scale it in. Keep in mind when you scale, it scales everything. In this case, that makes sense because he's going from a big front to a smaller back. So we can just keep going like this and scaling it in when we need to. You also might need to rotate it a little bit, so to keep it going. This is going to be more effective than the rock tutorial. So we'll just kind of follow this. I'm not sure what you're trying to say, Parker. You can personal trainer, Zach. So yep, no Blender on a Chromebook. Okay, so pretend that's what I want. Then the end, I can grab all of these and okay, so the final point of the tail, I'll grab the these ones and then just go to mesh, vertices, merge. Merge them at the center, and that will turn it into a point. You don't want to use triangles too much, but first at the small end, sure. So here we got a shape of that thing. Now the next thing I'm going to do for this guy is, again, you hold Alt and you can get an edge loop selected. You can press E for extrude and then S to scale it in. So give him like a mouth. So I'm going to pull the mouth out a little bit and oops, I think I'm messing it up. Make sure you're in the right view for it, otherwise you might be messing it up. So I'm going to try to pull it out a little bit here. Maybe a couple times. You want to give your model, whatever it is, enough geometry where you need it. So wherever you put more geometry, it'll stay that way. And once you smooth it, it'll get rid of it. If you're at the max multi-res, delete higher won't do anything because you're at the highest. Sorry, I'm answering Parker's question. So if you go down on multi-res and then press delete higher, it'll delete the higher res one, if that makes sense. So again, the whole point of all this is that we want lower poly stuff that looks good. The multi-res thing? Let me get to it in a second. I'll get to it, Parker. Let me finish this kind of thing, and then I'll talk about that. So I'm doing a mouth real quick, and we're just going to make it like kind of relatively simple. And then you're going to extrude it in, too. Like, give this guy... Give it a... So you can make sure your axis are right. You can click X to make sure you're going in. Then I want to give him a mouth eventually that closes it. You know, you can't see the end of it. So, and then if you just want to fill the end, just press F and it'll fill that. Now, if we wanted to add, let's say like teeth, it'll take a second. We can use some of our tools like inset faces. Oops. So I'm not sure if I'm going to add teeth or not. I guess I will. I'm going to subdivide this thing once so it's easier. I'll do teeth in a second. So you want to do the main basic major shapes first, and then you can get to Small details afterwards. I'll start with like a leg. We can have a leg coming out from, let's see. Looks like they come out kind of like up here. If you're doing an animal, try to keep the anatomy correct. This one isn't going to make too much sense, but whatever. I'll pull it out. Or let me actually, I'm going to inset faces, and I'm going to try to make it like a kind of a circular shape. A little more circular. And when you're doing creatures or people or whatever, don't worry about modeling both sides. You only have to do one side. So I'm going to start with this for an arm and just pull it out. Let's say that's his arm. I want to rotate this way. So you can click smooth. It doesn't really do much. That's if you press W. This guy, it's hard to tell what he's going to look like. But we can try to give him like an elbow. I could do some proportional editing to make it easier, so I can pull. Oh boy. Sorry, my mouse is going crazy. My proportional editing is not working. Because my mouse is messed up, I believe. Wonderful. Because it's moving the whole. There we go. I think you just bend it a little bit. Oops. Press the delete key, Parker. Yeah, I'm not going to bother making this actually good. It's going to take me too long to make this thing actually look good. Add edge loops where you need it. It's just going to take me too long. But you guys have more time than I do, so. whatever. I'm not going to bother too much with this guy. But let's say, like, whatever. Let's say that's good enough, I guess. Let's do a little bit more. So we'll fix it, I guess. I said you should make something. Okay, what? You want to when you make arms or whatever. I'm not gonna spend too much time, but obviously the upper arm is going to be generally a little bit bigger than the lower arm. And then you want to give it a knee somewhere. But this will look different once it's turned into once it's smooth. So we can even look at it now. Modifier, multi-res, subdivide. And we can start sculpting this later, but I'm going to stick with simple for now. So just add some feet, I guess. You can extrude feet out, I guess, maybe the easiest way. Oops. Maybe just the front polys. Press smooth, and you can try to smooth it out. Press W and then press smooth. Make it foot shaped a little bit ish. And I think we want like multiple toes. Let me see how this thing looks. Oh, it needs a big foot and then some toes. I'm not going to do toes till I subdivide it more. So sweet. Okay, so I'm going to add toes and teeth later. Parker, that's way too many crazy polys, and they're all stretched out. There's a limit to your sculpting. That's why I'm creating a base mesh to start with here. So your base mesh should look like what your final thing is going to look like roughly. I'm kind of running out of time here. So let's just say that, okay. Those are tries. So I'm going to cut this guy down the middle, and then I'll show you a trick here. I'm going to look at it straight on. Oh, great. I think I messed up here. I didn't make it the right amount of polys. Wait, no, I did. I'm all right. Okay, so you should when you're doing a cylinder, make sure it has, I forgot if it's odd or even amount of polys, but you need to make it so it has a line going down the middle. This got messed up somehow. 1 second. Okay, so you should be able to look at it from above and cut it down the middle, hopefully. Okay, delete the faces. Save a lot in case it crashes. Delete all these faces. So I have half of an animal, whatever this thing is. You don't need to texture it, really. But if you are going to, unwrap the low poly one and then texture that. You need to spend 4 hours, so. Okay. There you go, Flynn. Now you're talking. That wasn't 4 hours, Parker. Definitely not. Okay, so what you really want to do is make sure this is lined up. Because it's 24 points. Okay. There's my guy. Let's just say. Okay, no problem. All right, later. All right, so you can mirror this. If you got half of anything, you can add another modifier in object mode. Go to add modifier, go to mirror. And what the heck? There we go. So you choose your axis. This is on the Z axis. This one's off a little bit for some reason. You can increase the merge limit, which it'll merge the polygons in the middle. Increase it till it merges them. Or you can kind of adjust your model to fit better, but I'm just going to merge them like that. Now I got this. Oh, it merged too many. Let me readjust real quick. If you're getting that problem, that means this edge is a little too far in. Pull it in. And go to mirror. There you go, merge that up. Yeah, Flynn, use any of your models and do this to them, and then it allows you to get crazy. So let's just say this is what I want to start with. You know, I could subdivide it once here, and actually I can just go back. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to this point and do my teeth real quick and some toes real quick. Go into edit mode, get a polygon, and turn this on. Go to inset faces, and then you kind of just want to make them squarish, I guess. Take a little while. What do you got, Clint? I could do the teeth separate. I think I'll just do the teeth separate. So I'm going to do, let's see, I need toes. So I'm going to do this real quick. Give myself a little more geometry here, and then just pull these toes out real quick. It's not going to be pretty, but whatever. Something to start with. So he's got some sort of toes. Obviously, if you have more time, give him claws. Like, spend time making everything better. Like, I could spend 4 hours to make this cool, but I'm trying to do it for you in like 20 minutes. So, go to multiply, modifier, mirror this thing over, and oops. Y-axis in my case. Change the merge limit. And now if I really wanted to, I could go in here and basically take these arms and if I control plus, I can select these arms and I can duplicate. I should be able to duplicate these. Whatever. I'm gonna save this now and I'll come back to it. Crawler. So say I want to apply this, I can press apply. Now it's one solid mesh. I would just duplicate these and you know, basically put one on his back and then one over here, how we wanted it. There's got to be I'm not super familiar with Blender. Control D, okay. Oh, you're not. Control. Oh, it doesn't work either. Object. Duplicate. This is kind of a crazy way to do it. And I'm just going to take his arm off. Don't even know how, really. It's weird. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to bother. We'll just say I'll do this one. Anyways, I'll figure that out next time. Just cut off a leg, put another one up here. Cut off another leg, put it over here. Well, let's say we're going with this for now. And I'm going to give him a tongue, I guess. Real quick. If you're finding that maybe your things didn't merge properly, you can select the whole thing and go to remove doubles. Sometimes it'll remove some doubles. You can change that if you need to, but it looks like I'm fine. So I'm going to delete this middle face. And now I should be able to get this loop and make that a tongue of some sort. I guess I can make it bigger. Whoa. Super long tongue. Give it a few cuts if you want, like. So I'm pressing E to extrude, click, you press R to rotate, and then S to scale. And you just kind of keep doing that until you get a shape you like. And at the end, you can just press merge to center. So there we got a guy. I didn't bother with teeth because I don't have the time. You could just model a tooth and slap it on there. But I like keeping my models connected, so I would actually go in there and model some teeth. I could do it real quick, actually, if I just go to loop cut and slide. I need 2 per thing. Oops. All right, modeling can get tedious, obviously. How you doing, Flynn and Kenzie? Any questions yet? Okay, so I'm just gonna go like this, and I'm gonna take a tooth every so often here. So you would do this for like the feet and stuff too, but I'm not gonna bother. You can merge them if you want. That's probably the easiest way to do it, is just merge at center. You select the poly, go to merge at center, and it'll turn into a triangle. You can't do them all at once because they would all just merge to the center. Kind of a bummer. If you do something repetitively, you can look, okay, the short key is Alt-M, so I can just click and press Alt-M, Alt-M, which makes it a lot faster. Once you start getting the workflow down. Okay, so say those are my teeth, and that's my guy. To start, now I can go into, maybe he needs claws too or something, you know. I shall probably, oops, loop cut and slide, do the same kind of thing down here where I do 2, and then I can add claws out of there by extruding them. Should have done this before I merged it over, but whatever. So you might want to do like a couple. And then merge these. I still haven't got to the part I wanted to show you. This is taking too long.
Are you good looking?
No, go. Okay, whatever. He's got a rough shape. Good enough. So now I can take this and sculpt it if I want to a bit. I'm going to save first, obviously, because I don't like losing any work. It took half an hour or something. But now I can do my multi-res thing. So I can subdivide it. And you'll see he kind of loses some detail. Anywhere you want to keep detail, like if I want to keep it around these teeth, I have to add an edge loop. So just so you know, I'll show you a little example. If I added an edge loop, it won't let me. I just want one. Like here, that should help the teeth a bit, and maybe on the inside too. So now let's see. Kept them a little bit. There we go. So now this guy's at 111,000. I can start messing with him. I obviously want to make this arm feel like it's better joined, and smooth out all these, you know, wonky parts. So I can go into sculpt mode and start painting it. I'll do my sculpt brush. Oh, and in this case, I'm going to use symmetry. So if I look at it, I want symmetry on Y. See how I can do that? So now I can start giving them like back muscles and stuff. And press Shift to smooth it out. Let's see. Start from this side. Obviously, the better starting model you start with, the better off you'll be. What's going on here? Oh, sometimes you might need more strength, or I guess you can turn auto smooth on, which helps. Careful, your computer might crash if you play too much with this stuff. And then since this arm's kind of just giving me a hard time, I can go back to my original thing and kind of yeah, careful. The more polys, the more your computer is going to struggle. But in this case, I want to make this a little wider so I can have a better arm. It fits a little better. People like that. See, I made a change on this side. I should make a change on that side, but it's all right. Let's just go back to sculpting. Try to smooth this out. Yeah, get that armpit solved first. And once you're happy with that, the rest is all fun. I can subdivide more once I'm getting closer. So subdivide again. Now I'm at nice and high res. Smooth a lot of these kinks out first. And then it's about going in here and giving it muscles. So maybe not so much strength, and just kind of start figuring out where muscle groups would be. It's a fake creature, so you don't have to worry about it. Real creatures, obviously, you want to study the musculature. Just go look at a diagram of the muscles. There's anatomy of every animal available online. I kind of like this clay brush because it like builds up, you know. Seems to work nice. This is like the same kind of deal you'll get in ZBrush or Sculptris, but this one's built into Blender, so you can just do it right on your model. And I love this multi-res thing; it's awesome. Otherwise, that's the biggest pain of modeling. That's why I'm like, I don't want to be a modeler because I don't want to retopo. Which, if you do something super high poly and you want to bring it into a game, it's called retopo. You have to redo the mesh so it'll fit. I'm not sure what this muscles would look like, but probably bigger groups of them. Retopo is the worst. Yeah, dude, I've literally gone there. I've done this amazing character or whatever, and then you have to sit there and look at it and literally click and draw every single poly back onto it. And they'll like stick to the surface, but you sit there and draw the polygons and you redraw the entirety of it, which is going to be what, like 10,000 polys. So you got to sit down and take your time. So I'm getting there. Like you can see a little bit what I'm getting at. Some of this you might want to do in yeah, I think it could actually. I think it wouldn't be too bad. I want to give these feet a little bit more to work with. If you make something too boxy, you'll see it won't smooth really well. So sometimes you just got to go in here and tweak it a little bit. You know, and if I wanted to, I would, I could still cut them in half and reflip it, so I don't have to do it on this side. Which I probably do want to. Before I get carried away. But for the purpose of this, we're just about out of time. You can see how you start with the simple mesh, and then you can go kind of bananas with it and make your changes, and then bring it back down to regular size. Look at other, if you're doing animals, look at other animals and see what their anatomy and muscles look like. You know. Yeah, any kind of, well, since they're monsters, it's real easy. It's hard to do actual animals and people and stuff because you got to be spot on because everybody knows what they look like, and everybody knows what what their muscles look like. But muscles are generally like teardrop shaped, so if you can kind of use a lot of teardrop shapes, that helps it look realistic. These feet are awful, but whatever. We got Slimer here. Yeah, he's coming along. It would just be more time. So but you can see if we go back a couple divisions, it's just giving us a little bit of a cooler shape. There's even other tricks where you can take some of the detail that you render out here and use that as a kind of like a bump map that'll show that detail. But in this case, we'll go, depending on how much geometry we can afford, this might be enough. So give it some decent geometry. This is really messed up, his legs, but that's kind of the gist of it. I guess I have questions on that. And what you're going to pull out of here is you're going to want whatever version is, between 10, maybe this might be a bit much. This might be a bit low, but this would work fine. So I would just do apply. Let me say it one more time. I'll just press apply in object mode, actually. And now this is your model. That obviously needs to be fixed. It was just a demo, but then you could go export that to Unreal and stuff. But I highly recommend before doing any of this to go to your lowest resolution and unwrap it at the lowest res you can get to. So that's 0. I'll unwrap it like this, which will be easy. And then I'll crank it up. But like, okay, we're out of time. You know what? I'll show you ZBrush maybe. Next week we're gonna start doing Unreal stuff, but I'll show you ZBrush whenever we get a free chance. And Sculptris is the same thing, but I just wanted to show you that Blender also has sculpting tools built into it, which is cool. Zach wants me to finish and rig that model. I probably will. You know, if I'm doing it myself, I'm a bit more of a perfectionist, and I take my time and do it like the right way. But you know, it's probably good enough for our purposes. I can just kind of fix a couple of things, and it'll be good enough. And the rig should be easy since it's like kind of just a cylinder and a couple arms. So that's it. I already told you what's due this week. If you need help with this, shoot me an email. You could try T-Rex or something. That's always fun, but it's a lot better in ZBrush. I use this kind of technique that I just showed you for like more simple geometry editing that I don't want to actually model. I'd rather just sculpt it and then have it come back to a lower poly. Whatever's easier for you, but for me, sometimes that's easier. So that's just a one trick to use. I like it for organic modeling. It's a good overall place to start. And then if you're so inclined, you can go bananas and bring it into ZBrush and texture it and give it all these bump maps, normal maps, the whole deal. That's the basics. So if you are going to unwrap, make sure it's at the lowest res, unwrap that, then use your multi-res modifier in order to play with the levels of resolution, and use your sculpts in order to change your geometry to fit how you want it. This isn't perfect, but whatever, you know. I'll give you some more tricks if you guys are interested, but that's it for today. So who's still with me? Just Flynn and Mackenzie? That's all I got. I'm going to let you guys go, unless you have any questions. What is that dinging? Is that... I don't know. Thanks for coming, Kenzie. Hopefully you learned a little bit. Oh, also we need concepts, side view concepts as much as possible so I can do them. Oh, okay, gotcha. So that's it, unless anybody has questions. Oh, Zach's still here. Yeah, I'll finish it up for you, Zach. It shouldn't be a problem. Oh, Max is here too. Cool. So, okay, those are just some, you know, tips and tricks to make your life easier if you're trying to model. And cool thing is you can model on any resolution and take it up and down, back and forth. It's good. So, the end. Any questions? All right, well, if you're watching this later and you have any questions, shoot me an email. And if you need any help, you can always come into the mobile labs or come to these online conferences. Tuesday is a demo. Thursday is whatever you guys want to do. Last time we played games. This time, let me know if there's anything you want to learn, and I can demo that. Otherwise, that's it for this week, guys, and I will talk to you guys later.